Hello, 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 everyone. Thank
Hey,
you for joining us for JHC Plus Friends. Hey, Julia.
Hey, thanks for joining us, guys, and thanks, Chrissy. I am super excited, everyone. Kristine Dobosenski joined us today as my guest. I will give her introduction in a few minutes. I just wanted to mention a few things. Chrissy is going to do awesome things behind the scenes. And as always, she's been a great co-host for my show. So she'll be responding to any comments that you have today and any questions as well. So feel free to shoot them over my way, or if you're watching the recording, still feel free to leave a comment below. Okay. So let me mention first of all about Kristine. Kristine is a Miami native and international hairdresser. She moved to Tallahassee in 2013 for a fresh start. And in 2014, she met business partner and mentor Eric Holman and launched the local publication Socially Loved. A lot of you locally here in Tallahassee know Kristine as the hug dealer. She's always been friendly to whoever she meets, whether a stranger at a coffee shop or someone she's just met, obviously through associates. The company gave her a foundation to get sober, build hope, and stretch her entrepreneurial muscles. After investing in and growing and selling her shares, Kristine went back to her roots in beauty, only this time with a clear mind, full heart, and a world of experience. Today, she runs a beauty blog at tellybeautygirl.com and is changing lives one hairstyle at a time at Beauty and Grace Hair Parlor. So, of course, it's so fitting that I had my appointment this morning and Christine did my hair. So perfect. And if you've seen some of my posts, you've seen my hair. It's Kristine. She's done all of it for me. And not only that, she's helped me personally build my confidence. She's not just a hairstylist. She's so talented in many ways. She's taught me many things, and even she's brought me to great books, and just a great thought leader, even though she might not put herself out there as one. I really think she's a major influencer here in town in Tallahassee. So Kristine, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's an honor to be here. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
So I know we had talked about the topic, which is about getting ready for business, right? Yes. There's quite a few things that you would love to touch upon. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So let me think. So the first thing that we have to do when we're launching a business is figure out our product.
Right.
And figure out what we're going to call it.
Yeah.
So for me, I had a blog before when I was international. It was called Beauty Finish. And it was basically, my goal was to kind of put the finishing touch on your beauty routine. And the colors that I used at the time were really bold, like fluorescent. And I think it really embodied who I was then. But today, I hope to think that I've calmed down a little bit. And so, when I was coming up with Tally Beauty Girl, it was really, really important for me to honor Tallahassee, the place that I call home, the community that I love, that I have invested in over the last 7 years since I've been here. So that was a natural. My hope was that my clients would consider themselves Tally Beauty Girls, and just kind of create a community there. And I feel like it's going well.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's just been a few years, right? It hasn't even been a full 2 years since you started doing this again.
It'll be 2 years in February.
That's so awesome. And I know there's a few topics that you mentioned, like image and branding, how color and mood really makes a difference. and what the financial process has been like for you personally, and even what you would advise for everyone. You just announced how you become debt-free, which is awesome. Yay!
Hold on, I still have the letterboard. Let's give it a shout out.
Did you do the scream?
I didn't do it on Dave Ramsey's show, but you better believe that when I made that final payment, I was like, "Yay, going shopping!"
I was so excited because I didn't even realize how close you were, and then you posted about it. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that girl is awesome!" And even just
groceries. I was so close. I'm like, I don't care. We don't need to eat. I want this guy.
Which is really awesome when you get to that point. Then now everything that you've been earning now will become profit. Like that's just you just keep doing what you've been doing.
You are great.
Oh my gosh, I would love to get to that point.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
So tell us about image and branding. How does it apply to you physically, obviously, but of course, people think of branding as just a logo or just an icon. But tell us more about how it applies to people personally.
The one thing that one of the things that I loved the most when I worked with Socially Loved was everyone called me the hug dealer. I got to hug people. It's my Instagram. It's my Venmo if you want to send me some money. I loved being the hug dealer. I loved being the one that if someone was having a rough day, they would text me. And if I had the opportunity, I would drive to wherever they were and hug them and pray with them. And when I started to do hair again, I didn't want to lose that. And so even though my brand itself doesn't talk about hugging, my caption is life is hard. Your hair should be easy. My hope is that when people sit in my chair, the weight of the world can just be put down for a minute, and I can, give you a hot towel scalp massage with essential oils and give you a moment of reprieve and quiet. And then you get to leave feeling rejuvenated and beautiful. And when you're home doing your hair, my hope is that whatever I've done is easy for you to do at home so that you still feel beautiful when you wash your hair and it dries. And so my hope with my brand is that the feeling that people leave me with is the same feeling that they would have left when I was with Socially Loved, like feeling uplifted and loved and poured into and, understood and validated. So that is something that's been really important to me. And when you come into the salon, obviously I rent my chair and the other girls at the salon are on their own journeys with their career. Everyone feels the same way about how they want their clients to feel. The whole reason why the salon is called Beauty and Grace is because we want to have grace for our clients, grace for each other, grace, gracefulness. It's just, we're all on the same page. So, in coming up with your brand, it's not just a logo. It's not just colors. It's essentially your brand is how you want your clients to feel while they're with you and when they leave you. So that's something that has been really important to me. It's something, when I dress, I don't wear anything that's offensive or too provocative. Although I'm from Miami, my line and like Tallahassee's line.
No, I love your style. It's classic. And you just do, to me, it's like you have a great balance with what you've been doing, especially with your brand and even your social media. Tell us a little bit more about your journey, like from everything that you've tried and experienced. I know you have been everywhere, you've traveled. Tell us a little bit more about your story and then how you eventually came to Tele Beauty. And I love how you talked about your vision and brand. So I wanted to touch more about your background too.
So it all started in Miami. 83. No, I guess, so most people don't realize I actually got my cosmetology license in high school. And I started cosmetology because I was bullied with my hair and the way that I looked and the way that I dressed. And so when I got to high school and they offered cosmetology, I was like, yes, someone can help me out. I felt like a project, you know, that I needed to work on. So so I graduated high school with my cosmetology license. My high school offered it as an elective, and I was further ahead in my other studies. So I had extra electives to, you know, allocate towards my vocation. And I actually came to Tallahassee in high school because I competed statewide in updos and won. But I couldn't go to nationals because I had an attitude problem and my teacher would not let me go. But yeah, so I had been to Tallahassee before. I stayed at the Doubletree, and taking a taxi to Governor Square Mall was my first taxi ever. And it was fascinating. So I got my license. I worked in one of Miami's more elite salons from 15. And my job was to give scalp massages and keep the salon clean, which are two of my favorite things to do. And then I wanted to go to college and get my degree. So for a little while, I majored in drama. And my 3 main courses in drama was lighting, set design, and theater makeup. So it really was good for me because post-college, I ended up moving to Los Angeles and doing hair and makeup for photo shoots and fashion shows and getting into creative directing, which is probably where my perfectionism comes from. Like, put the tag in, make sure like everything's perfect. So my degree, I ended up getting my degree in sociology, which is kind of the study of like, why are people the way that they are? And so in high school, one of my really good friends committed suicide. And it just gave me this need to love people, because if I don't, you're going to go home and kill yourself. And so when I was at the grocery store, if I didn't compliment everyone that I could, it was like, what if today is the breaking point for that person? Like, and if my compliment could just like pull them back. And so that was probably the birth of the hug dealer. And it was also probably because I needed hugs as well. And so I moved out to LA in 2007, got really into doing production work, really extravagant stuff. So I got to turn kids into the Mona Lisa, and I turned a little girl into a marble statue, and just really, really fun stuff. And then when the economy crashed, I sent that portfolio over to a salon in Amsterdam, and they hired me on the spot, and I got sponsored and gave away all of my belongings and moved overseas. And their philosophy, the salon was called Rob Pay Tom, and their philosophy was, so their catchphrase is "Haal het mooiste out yourself," which means get the most beauty out of yourself. So it's all about bringing out the natural beauty, looking at the face shape, the hair type. It rains every day. You're not going to blow dry it, you know. It needs to dry beautifully, naturally. So they sent me back to school. School was in Dutch. So I got to get thrown into like learning hair in Dutch. But luckily, the words translate really easily. So like hair is haar. You know, highlight is foily. You use foils to highlight. Some things are really difficult. So like a gloss is a spoeling. So, and then eventually made my way back to the States, you know, worked in a salon in Miami, and just my addictions kind of got the best of me, and I overdosed, and I was facing bankruptcy, and everything was falling apart. So I moved to Crawfordville, where my parents live, and started over and started Socially Loved.
And you've been technically sober pretty much now. The official, it's what, over 5 years,
February will be
right? I think I remember.
February.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that. Are you guys gonna have a celebration of some sort?
No, I'm just kidding.
I know, right? Oh, let's not talk about that. But yeah, no, that's amazing. You're amazing. And that's one of the reasons why I love to just have guests like you, just as genuinely real entrepreneurs, trying different things out, pretty much solving your own personal problems and pretty much how it applies to business. And you're doing a wonderful job with yours. So what was your experience like with the financial process? Like, did you probably had to learn along the way, right? What did you find were obstacles along the way, and what would you love to share with the world about what you learned?
Learning about money, and not just like running a business, but money, but like running my life, that was a crash course. Because I feel like through my 20s and through my travels, it was like hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, like just survive. And I never, ever thought about saving money, or, my parents didn't teach me, I was raised, don't ask your parents about money, it's rude. And so it wasn't until I got to Tallahassee and was introduced to Waddell and Reed, Andrew Bascom, and he explained to me having a food fuel fun account that I'd have an account to pay all my bills, automatic, and I'd have an account that on Thursday I would transfer money into food, fuel, and fun. And once it was gone, it was gone. And then the rest of the money would go in another account. Now, I did not adhere to that whatsoever, but it was still a really cool concept. Eventually, I had another friend introduce me to Financial Peace University. And if you're not familiar, it's the Dave Ramsey baby steps, save $1,000, then put every dollar towards your debt till it's gone, then save your emergency fund, and then start investing. So, when we were with Socially Loved, we were capitalized when we started. So we were able to just throw ideas at the wall. They don't stick, whatever, scrap it, throw more ideas. And then, at some point we ran out of money, and I learned that if you don't know how to sell, and this is the biggest piece of advice I can give to any entrepreneur, if you don't know how to sell, you will not have a business. The end. You can have the greatest idea, you can have the greatest systems, you can have the greatest product. But if you cannot walk up to a stranger and be like, hey, I've got the best thing for you, we need to have coffee, and follow up, you're going to go out of business. So, I really love talking to people. I believe most people just need a hug. So I'm not afraid to start a conversation, because at the end of it, I really just want to hug you. That's a good intention. That's nothing to be afraid of. So I think that, coupled with really believing in Socially Loved in our ministry, was very easy for me to sell. And the same with hair. I mean, if you've ever had a bad haircut, it takes a toll on the way you feel about yourself. So knowing that I can give you a good haircut, it's like, I'm going to make you feel amazing. So I'm so excited to meet you and talk to you. Get in my chair. Let me take the world off for a second. So, but it's great to be able to make money. The big lesson was learning how to keep it. And Instagram does not want me to keep my money.
That is so funny. And then a few things that, like you mentioned, definitely one of your strongest points is that you're awesome with sales. You've always been I feel like a natural. Tell me about your experience with taxes, because I know you mentioned about self-employment taxes, right? And setting up your financial processes. Tell me a little bit about that.
So when I was with Socially Loved, my job was to sell. I didn't really handle the books. I didn't do much data entry. I didn't do much behind the scenes stuff. They were like, you can sell, you go sell, we'll take care of the rest. I'm like, cool, I can do that. So when I started Tally Beauty Girl, I spent all my money. I was like, oh, look, I'm making enough money. I can pay my rent. I can pay my cell phone and my Comcast bill. And oh, look at all the money I had to invest in my business. And, you know, outfits are necessary for business. I need to look cute. I mean, I spent all my money. And I remember sitting down in the end of my first year with my accountant, and I had a capital loss. And so I figured that would cover any debt that I would have had in taxes. That was not true. So if you have a capital loss, it means that your investments, any investments that you had, did not make money that year, they lost money. So I had a capital loss from a previous investment, and it was substantial enough to make me believe that I wouldn't have to pay taxes. Even if you have a loss of $10,000, you can only claim $3,000 of that year over year. So I could claim that for 3.5 years at $3,000 each, but I couldn't pull the $10,000 off the total amount of taxes that I owed. So my first year in business, I realized that I owed $14,000 in taxes, and I needed to get rid of that. So I didn't take an income, and I really just put every dollar towards setting aside for the taxes until I was able to pay it. And that's when I realized if I did this with my debt, it would be gone pretty quick. So that's how I paid off the debt so quickly. We paid our bills, and anything above that, once we paid the bills, whatever dollar was left in the bank account, I zeroed out the bank account. I was like, whatever, if we are missing money, I'm going to have to cut more hair. And so I have learned if there's money in my bank account, I will spend it. So whatever I am working towards, whether it's paying off debt or saving for something, as soon as the bills are paid, any extra dollar, it needs to get out of my line of sight or I'm going to spend it. So my savings account is handled by Waddell & Reed, Andrew Bascom. It's in a money market. I have to ask permission to I have to call them to transfer money out, and it takes 3 days. So I can't be impulsive about it. So, it's good for me because if, like I said, if I log into the bank account and I see spare money, I'm going to Target for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like a system I definitely need, and my husband would love for me to implement. And I remember that you recommended the book Profit First during your book club, and I loved that book, absolutely loved it. So I'm excited to actually. Yeah, exactly. And next year, I'm hoping to start pretty much implement all of those principles. So, and Chrissy pulled up your Instagram. We have all your customers featured there. And for those of you who haven't heard about Kristine and her account, it's at Tally Beauty Girl on Instagram. So definitely follow her there. And but okay, tell me about, since we saw a bunch of different styles, what styles are actually trending right now that you're noticing with COVID and everybody not going out as much?
Loungewear is popping right now. There is a happy medium between wearing your husband's hoodie and being dressed, for an outfit. And so I've noticed that loungewear is really trending, cute sets. And what else is really trending? I have such a hard time following trends. I like clean and classic. I like black, or I love black. I love black. I love a cami with some leggings and a kimono. Easy. I feel like I'm wearing my pajamas, but I look super regal. It's perfect. I feel like, you know, we're going into the cooler months, so chunky sweaters and leggings are always a thing. The white booties, you know, are everywhere trending right now. But, you know, for me at the salon, it's got to be cute, but it has to be practical. So, you know, at the end of the day, you'll always see me going back to either combat boots because they're easy to wear all day, or my Converse because Converse just go with everything. I am not a trendy person. No, I love classic, clean. I can wear this for 10 years and look cute. You know, yeah.
I love classic too. That is one of my favorite styles. Do you notice with customers, like, do they request to try different things with their hair? What are your favorite types of services that you've provided or would love to provide more?
I love highlighting and I love doing makeup. And I really want to start doing more makeup applications and lessons for my clients. And I absolutely love highlighting. I can just get lost in the art for sure. I am probably more likely to suggest a new style to a client rather than vice versa. I read somewhere that the main reason why people leave their hairdresser is their hairdresser never tries anything new. So I am always like, let's tweak this, let's do that, let's go a little darker, let's go a little lighter, let's throw a money piece in. I try to do things that are still pretty low maintenance and budget friendly, but the most subtle changes can make such a big difference.
Yeah, no, I feel like you kind of expanded me to try different things for sure. And
I'm always to cut your hair shorter.
Yeah.
One of these days.
And I love that you let me grow it too.
Yeah. It's still your hair.
I'm trying to for as long as I can until I know there's a point where, okay, it's time to just kind of keep it short.
You know what we can do? You should come in one day and I'll just show you like different braids and updos and styles you can. I mean, if you're going to have your hair long, you should do fun things with it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just never managed to keep it together. It's just so straight. But yes, I'd love to explore that. We need to have an appointment separate from our other highlight appointments. Of course, I love you for highlights. Now, the other thing too, I wanted to ask you too, because along the lines of personal brand and being confident and your appearance making a big difference too, because people really do want to do business with people that they feel comfortable with. And I think it has a lot to do with appearance. How did you mentally prepare yourself for engaging with people that you didn't know and strangers when it came to business?
You know, I think at the end of the day, we work better and we are more productive when we feel confident. When we feel beautiful, we are on our A game. And so even my clients who are working from home, I will still be like, let me blow dry your hair. I know you're just going home, but nothing makes you feel like a boss babe like a good blow dry and eyebrows. So I really feel like, you know, when you have to face the world, and even if you don't, just for yourself, knowing how to do your makeup, how to style your hair, even if it's easy, like scrunching it or, you know, doing like, okay, this part of my hair always gets puffy. Just grab it and twist it back and pin it so that this part's not bothering you and like this lays really nice. It's just this part, pin it back. Do whatever it takes to make you feel confident. You're going to work better. So, you know, take the time to get a makeup lesson. Take the time to get your eyebrows waxed. You know, it's hard. You can't put some lipstick on right now because masks, you know. So, you know, put some fake eyelashes on. Oh my gosh, I feel gorgeous when I have fake eyelashes on. Don't worry about looking extra. But when you feel beautiful, you're more confident, you're more assertive, and people like talking to people who are attractive. I mean, definitely. I mean, have you been on TikTok? But the other thing is, if you have to talk to a stranger, even if you don't, if the person that you're about to talk to is someone that you know, but you have to talk about something that you're a little nervous about, think about your intentions. At the end of the day, is your product going to make their life better? Is your goal to help them? If the answer to that is yes, what are you afraid of? I mean, if my goal is to make you feel beautiful, what in the world? Would you be mad at me? Would you be like, why is this girl talking to me? You would be like, oh my gosh, what would you do? Same with you, like for your brand, your vision is to help people's dreams come true, like having a great brand, having an excellent digital strategy. I mean, I've been in advertising and digital strategy still, like I'm doing the best that I can. But if I had someone like you by my side to be like, okay, this is your short-term goals, this is your long-term goals, this is how we're going to attack them. At the end of the day, you're literally just trying to make my dreams come true. Why wouldn't you talk to me? What is there to be afraid of? It's almost more harmful for you not to talk to me because now I'm struggling. Sister out.
No, no, and that's why I wanted to have you on, because you, in so many ways, have tackled so many different facets of running a business, and especially for folks out there who might not take care of themselves so well or might not know how to. This is really important. For me personally, when I actually take a few, maybe just like 15, 20 minutes to invest in my self-care and my personal appearance, I do feel more confident that day, and I feel like I can accomplish so much.
And you're nicer.
Yes,
I have friends who have a bunch of kids, and they're like, I'm a better mother when my hair looks good. And the same for your marriage, like I love when my husband puts product in his hair and wears cologne. Girl, yes.
Yeah,
it matters. The biggest thing that I feel keeps people from investing in their personal appearance is not that they don't have the money, because I believe the money's there. Cut out one Target trip a month. The money is there. They think it shouldn't be spent on themselves because it's vain, because it's unnecessary, because, a munchkin needs new shoes or whatever. But, obviously budgets are important, but if the money is there, take time. Self-care is not me first, it's just me too.
Yeah, I completely agree. And for many years as a mom with little kids, I didn't really take care of myself in many ways with my sleep and even just taking care of my appearance. It has done wonders for me that I've been able to do that and reserve some time to just really learn how to relax and give myself special treatment, because especially for moms and women out there, you really do need to take the time to do that, because we're always concerned about others. We just kind of innately are that giving person. For women.
My favorite to take care of, because the salon is pretty quiet, and it's so rare for a mom to have quiet time. And, I just love being able to be that pause for a mom so that she can go back and be like, okay, let's do this,
And her place, I don't know if Chrissy can just pull it up. I know they have some beautiful photos of the beauty. It's called Beauty and the Hair Parlor, right? Mm-hmm. Beauty and Grace. I love the setup. It's so spacious, and the windows, the lighting, I just love it. And
today when you came, we had the windows open.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
And
I think it was just us in the salon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, you adhere to safe practices. So we wore our masks and, I felt safe. And so one of my favorite things, and I know you mentioned it earlier, is that you do a nice hot towel and you do an awesome scalp massage. I cannot even describe. You have to go in. You have to just see for yourself what Kristine does. You definitely get top quality customer experience. You don't just get in there and get a haircut or some hair service or even just your makeup alone. She really puts in that extra effort to connect with you as a customer and make you feel amazing. Did you have anything in particular to highlight that you wanted to promote, or just, anything else that you wanted to add for the last few minutes?
I want to do a giveaway. So if you're watching this, DM me on Instagram for a free 30-minute makeup lesson.
Oh my goodness, awesome. And
I am booked out, but even if we have to wait till the new year, we will make it happen. So just DM me at Tally Beauty Girl on Instagram for a free makeup lesson, 30 minutes.
Awesome. So how do you want this done? Because some might watch the recording, and when did you want to have a submission by? The next, however.
I just want to bless people.
Awesome.
If you're watching this and you get to this point, you get a free makeup lesson.
So awesome. That's great.
So tell me one thing that I can do better as a service provider.
I can't think of anything negative.
What's your favorite thing about coming? No, my favorite thing about you coming is making you laugh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I know. You definitely, you just randomly.
It's so easy.
Look, you didn't make me laugh throughout the interview, which was awesome, right? It was pretty serious.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
You were on mute.
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt too much. Well,
do we have any questions?
I am not seeing anything come through. It's possible that Chrissy might not have seen anything else, but for those who see the recording later, we are going to do highlights because I have a bunch of highlights I'm pushing out for my social in the next month of all the live streams. So we will still promote this full episode. So for those who might see a highlight later on of this recording, it'll just be pushed up to the full episode. So one last and final question, I think it'll be nice to conclude with this, is what is your definition of being creative?
My definition of being creative. I think creativity falls in a lot of ways. It can even be analytical. I think creativity is whatever makes you lose yourself. When one of the biggest things I realized was, in addiction, you're always trying to escape. And I remember one day realizing there was no part of my life I felt like I needed to escape from anymore. And when I'm highlighting, when I'm coloring, if I'm running or lifting or, just talking to someone, being so incredibly present, I think that's when creativity happens as well, when you can be present. Does that sound totally crazy? That's
so awesome. Kristine, thank you so much for hopping on into my virtual show. Yes, I'd love to do this again. Maybe we should do a
We
little
should do
tour
your
of your
updo
place.
as a video.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, even like just plan out something where you're doing my hair, maybe. When I have my full production team. Anyhow, well, thank you again.
Absolutely.
And Chrissy, I am sure you're there as she's hidden behind the scenes. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have any questions yourself before we conclude.
All right. So looking the shape at my face, am I a short hairdo kind of girl or a long hairdo kind of girl?
All right, I'm going to ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
What drives you crazy about your hair?
That I never can keep a shape. I can never like keep curl in it.
Okay. What do you love about your hair? What's your favorite thing?
That it is manageable. It's easy. I can throw it up in a ponytail if I need to.
Okay. Do me a favor and pull your hair away from your face completely. She's like, I'm never going live with Kristine again. Tell me what your favorite feature is about your face. What do you love?
My cheeks.
You love your cheeks. Okay, that's good. So have you ever had you can let your hair to go. Have you ever had your hair short before?
So in my former life, I was a news anchor. And so I always used to have like the shoulder length hair or like the news anchor hair. And then now I'm an artist. So now I have longer hair. So
Do you feel like you want to have an artsier haircut?
Yeah. Well, not like I would love to be able to put curl or like wave in my hair. That's one thing that I've always wanted to do, but I never really knew how to create that effect.
Yeah. So feel free to
blog,
come in to the salon and I will teach you how to curl your hair. But if you were to say, Kristine, I'm bored, I want an artistic haircut and you wanted to do something bold, I would do something kind of like this.
Oh man.
I think this would look so good on you.
I could see that style too, Chrissy. I mean, it's just, I could see how she can apply it to you and it would look really cute.
Blonde, like blonde.
Ooh.
Yes, I think it would make your eyes pop.
But I do need to make sure that it's like easily manageable.
So hair that short.
Because I have a hairnet right now. You see this?
Oh my God. So
literally, I just pulled this off like before. Yeah.
The thing is that if you have really long hair, you can kind of do nothing to it and it looks okay. Unless it's like so fine, it looks like, wispy. That medium length, you gotta style it. You have to style your hair. But if it's really short, like these pictures, it's gonna be so wash and go, especially if your hair is naturally as straight as it is in this video.
Yeah, I don't know if I could go short because my boyfriend would probably kill me. I'm joking. He likes my long hair.
Yeah, most guys do. But I mean, it will look super cute. You can also do a longer, like asymmetrical, which would be super cute. I've noticed that people who wear their hair to one side a lot do really well with an asymmetrical because they're used to seeing more hair on one side. So that's super fun. Or, I mean, keep it long, go really blonde, and I'll teach you how to curl it. There's so many options.
Yeah, I would love to have that wavy look.
Yeah. Come on. Look at it.
Do it. Do it.
November 20th. You want it? It's my last week before Christmas, before Thanksgiving.
I'm definitely in need of a haircut, so put me down.
All right. I will call you to get all the info. I will spoil you rotten.
So awesome. Yeah, that's the other benefit too. Is that
and you got a free makeup lesson.
Oh man, I just no glitter. No glitter. Any glitter.
You won't find me using too much glitter. Awesome. We should do a recording of that. It will be fun. a before and
post.
Well, make
Yeah.
sure everyone watching that, because this will live as a video, I'm sure that if you have any questions or if you want to ask Kristine how your hair should be styled with your face, maybe do the face test.
yeah.
Make sure you leave it in the comments here.
Leave it in the comments, and for as long as this is up, DM me on Instagram and you'll get a free express makeup lesson. So I'll just keep
Awesome.
perpetually blessing people. It'll be fun.
All right,
Awesome.
Julia, do we have anything to look forward to for our next episode?
No, just plan for in a couple weeks. I know I have a few more scheduled for this year. And we will post about it if we do have a guest. If not, we will have some valuable information about digital marketing and all things strategy.
But also, if you're a business interested in participating in one of our live streams, make sure you get in touch with Julia, because she will definitely highlight some amazing things about what we're doing in our community and about your business.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for having me on, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.